We are going to arrange different forms together in what's called a still life. And what I want you to use, as I said on the assignment sheet, is preferably like some sort of cloth or a shirt or whatever, and hopefully try to just keep it kind of neutral, meaning like not too dark and not too light. And then a book, and preferably a bowl, and preferably a glass. It doesn't really matter what kind of glass it is. And so what you're going to do is you're going to set up the arrangement of these different objects in a still life. And then what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to deconstruct the structure of the still life and bring that information back to the page. And we're going to do that in terms of a process that's called Mondrian lines. And this is going to refer back to what I was talking about at the beginning of class. So what you want to do is, I'm just using this for the purposes of trying to show you. You want to try to find the linear structure in the composition. So right off the bat, I can see that this line from that plane of the book is moving directionally that way, and that line's moving that way. And there's obviously a vertical line where I can, kind of pinpoint the access and the placement of the glass. And then obviously I can find a line with the bowl, and then also the bowl and the glass are almost kind of on a parallel line on the ground plane, top plane of the book. And then, you just want to try to treat the deconstruction of the shapes of the cloth as actual larger shapes. So this is the same thing that you did when you were doing your proportional exercises. You're trying to really think about the structure and breaking down the structure in terms of linear structure. So I'm going to be using a Sharpie marker just so it's easier to see on the video. So as you can see, I'm going to try to immediately find the access for that line that's showing the plane of the book at that angle. Okay, so and I'm going to, with the Mondrian lines, I'm going to have them fall through all the way through my page, my entire page. Okay, and now I'm going to try to draw this line and that back line to show the edge of the book. So I'm going to draw this all the way through like this. Okay, so now this right here is going to be this corner right here. And I know that line, if I move my pencil, in this case my pen, this way, I know I'm trying to find the width of that plane of the book. And I know that the book, these lines are parallel in order to create that plane. So I'm going to draw this other line going all the way through like this. Okay, so now I have that plane of the book, and then I'm going to look in the back and kind of try to figure out where the back plane of it is. And I know that this back line is going to be parallel to the front. Okay, so this line is going to fall all the way through here, like this. Okay, so that's going to be the top plane of the book. So right here is going to be, now I'm going to take out the actual book itself, like this way, like this. Okay, then these lines are going to come up like this. So these lines, you want to make these lines fall all the way through so you can make sure that you're keeping everything parallel, okay? And those lines falling all the way through are helping you figure out that everything's going to be parallel. So now I'm going to try to figure out the placement of the glass. And if I think that this is just the center, right here where the book would be, then I go like this for the center of the book, then I know that the glass is going to be like right around here. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the center line for the axis of the glass. Right? Okay. And now I'm going to draw where I think bowl is, where that bowl is sitting. Okay, so I know that the bowl is sitting like right around here, like that. Okay, and I know that its top ellipse is going to be right around here. Okay, so now I've just basically got the structure down because of how I'm thinking about the placement and deconstructing the entire composition and the arrangement. And so now I know the top of the glass is probably like up here, top ellipse. And this comes down like this. Like so, okay? And then now I'm gonna start drawing the shapes of where I think, remember you're not gonna be doing any value. This is all about proportions and deconstructing the shapes of everything, okay? So I don't want you to worry about any detail. It's just more about sighting everything out and getting everything relatively close to where you're seeing it. So once you've done your first composition, like that last one, and you've just kind of like mapped out everything, you try to get all the proportions correct, you use the Mondrian lines to follow through, to find all the angles and structure of the entire composition, then do another one and try to just rearrange things a little bit. So I just changed where the bowl is, I turn it upside down and I push the wine glass behind it. So again, I'm gonna follow through with the angle, this first plane of where that book is, okay? And then I'm gonna find the angle right here, that line going back that direction. And then I'm gonna find the angle of that back. So I'm trying to get the width right here, that width there, okay? I'm gonna go like this. I'm trying to get this part right here. This line's gonna go up like this, and then I'm gonna find the corner, that corner edge right over there. Okay, and then I'm gonna try to find the back part of, remember, this line is gonna be parallel to this and this. That line's parallel to that and that. And then this line is parallel, those two lines are gonna be parallel to that back line right there, okay? So this is going to be where the book is, like this. Okay, and then as I can see, this is about the width of the bowl. Okay, and then I'm gonna look where the back of the wine glass is, and so I'm gonna have my line fall through there, like that. Okay, and then basically this is going to be where the wine glass is. And then obviously this is gonna be basically where the shirt or the cloth or whatever you end up using is gonna be, like this. So I just want you to do a couple different compositions on newsprint where you're using the entire page. Don't draw everything too small. Break the edge of the picture plane and find the entire structure of the composition and the forms relative to each other in terms of their proportions and where they're laid out. And then I'll explain what you're going to do after that. So for both drawings, once you've got all the structure down, you've looked at all your proportions, you looked at your negative space shapes, the entire structure and composition is figured out. And just also remember, you wanted to use the entire page, okay? You wanted to break the edge of the picture plane. You don't want to have a lot of negative space around the main composition. So once you're done with all the lines, what I want you to do is go back and I want you to isolate all the contour of all the forms and shapes. And the contour is just basically the outside edge of the forms. Okay, and I just want you to go back and I want you to just tighten everything up. And I just want you to try to get rid of all the underlining line structure that you created the composition with. So again, I'm isolating all, I'm just emphasizing and isolating all the contour edges of all the forms. And I just want to tighten and refine everything up. I'm not going to be using any value, so no light or dark or shading or anything like that. What you're going to want to end up with is kind of like a nice line drawing. Okay, so now, and I'm just eliminating all my Mondrian lines that help me figure out the whole structure and composition of the drawing. So you'll end up with drawing. I've eliminated all the Mondrian lines, all the linear structure, gotten rid of everything, and I've isolated all the forms. And I have described them by refining the contour to describe the different forms relative to each other. And the contour, again, contour line is just the description of the outside edge of the form. So now what I've basically ended up with is a contour line drawing. And it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you just want to get it refined enough that it, you know, that you, if you see the ghost of the Mondrian lines and the structure underneath, that's not a problem at all, but you just want to really take everything out and be subtractive and clean everything up, and just so you end up with like a nice contour line drawing. So if you finish the first two horizontal compositions, you know, you did all the refinement, you did a total contour line drawing, you've done two of them, and if for some reason you have extra time, then what I want you to do is on a vertical sheet of newsprint, I want you to just do two new, smaller compositions that are based on the same subject matter, but just the other thing I want you to do is just keep rearranging things a little bit. So I just been moving the glass and the bowl in different positions. So it's essentially for practice, okay? And again, you're zooming in, you're gonna fill the entire, so you're just doing two smaller compositions that are basically two smaller picture planes. And it's just basically for practice. And this is only if you finish the first two drawings, you know, within a 2-hour time frame. Okay, it's just this will be additional if you want. Okay, and again, it's entirely for practice.